So in this Secrets of the Dam podcast, we're looking a close glance at book 2 in the series. Forbidden Dreams is the second of the book series, Secrets of the Dam. First one being The Kirk. We're sitting down with author Jim A. Shaw this morning. Jim, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Not too bad. Forbidden Dreams, great title. Everybody has forbidden dreams in their life, either monetarily or romantically or otherwise. Could you tell us a little bit about Forbidden Dreams as, not say the sequel to the Kirk, but a continuation of the Secrets of the Dam series?
Yeah, it's more of a continuation of the Secret of the Dam series. It's not really a sequel per se, because my original intent when I wrote the Secrets of the Dam series was I was going to have 3 different villains who are the damned with 3 different secrets. So what happens is you got your characters from the Kirk, and their story is done and wonderful and great and awesome, and then it rolls into this sister town of Woodstock, which is fictitious, and the town is called Simons, and it's a whole nother cast of characters, it's a whole nother villain, and their story plays out. And then it leads into the third, where I have the main characters from Forbidden Dreams and the main characters of the Kirk combined in the third book. This story definitely will play tricks with your mind. I had so much fun writing Forbidden Dreams. As the name suggests, it's a story inside of a story. And I put it together in such a way that I'm sure it's going to keep you on the edge of your seat.
Now, Forbidden Dreams, what is the basic plot or the basic scenario, without giving too much away? What tale are you trying to tell in this important part 2 of the Secrets of the Dam series?
Well, in order to tell that, I have to reveal to you that this is a relaunch of a novel that I wrote, which was named The Vandenberg House. However, to cut the longest story short, the publishing house would not accept my original name, Forbidden Dreams. So it ended up with the name Vandenberg House. But that's okay, because the Vandenberg House is almost like a character in the novel of itself. It's this abandoned mansion out in the middle of nowhere on a hill overlooking a graveyard surrounded by trees. And there's so many legends and stories about this place. It's kind of like your boogeyman story. And I've got, at the beginning of the book, I've got these kids going up there because one is absolutely determined to find out if these stories are real or if they're true. And the story goes on from those guys to what happens to them, sends them to the police department, where you're introduced to 2 characters that I just called the captain and the sergeant. You don't learn their names till later on in the story. And then their story mushrooms together, and they start investigating these crimes, the major crime that takes place at the beginning of the book. And then our lead character, he starts having these bizarre dreams of himself living way, way back into yesteryear with swords and sorcerers and all that stuff. And these 2 worlds parallel one another. And it becomes evident as the story moves along.
Well, like I said, no pun intended, but Forbidden Dreams ties into what you just talked about. Now, how different is Forbidden Dreams from the Kirk? Because the Kirk seems to be a very straight ahead, heavy story. Forbidden Dreams seems a little more ethereal, more, of the mind.
Well, it's because the Kirk, I stuck with one genre. I stuck with the thriller horror genre. And I enjoy that. But the only problem is there's 3 genres that I like writing in. I like writing in horror, thriller. I love writing sci-fi, and I absolutely enjoy writing fantasy. And I don't like being pigeonholed too much. So one day I'm thinking, well, what if I combine the 2? I mean, I have heard other authors say that's a big taboo. Well, when something's a big taboo, that makes me even more interested in trying it. So I decided to combine the horror aspect with the fantasy genre. And when the novel first made its splash a century ago, I got a lot of feedback from people that really, really, really enjoyed the fantasy part.
Now, we've talked about before about writers, how we challenge ourselves. So you're saying Forbidden Dreams was a different challenge for you than Kirk was?
Oh, it sure was.
In what elements, like why Forbidden Dreams? Like you said, you expand a bit, but the Kirk, like I said, I've read the Kirk and it seems like extremely straightforward, well written, of course. But Forbidden Dreams seems to be more something that you take more passion into the word sometimes.
Well, with the Kirk, I love to weave plot lines together like tapestry. And with the, and I did that in the Kirk. I weave different plot lines together, little sub stories together, and knitted them together to produce the big story of the Kirk. With the Vandenberg House, or Forbidden Dreams, I took two different stories, two complete different stories. One story science fiction, one story thriller, and then I spent my time knitting them all together. And each story in itself has its little sub stories that are knitted together. So it's like making one of those. It's like knitting and crocheting something together. It's really cool. I like it.
Well, I mean,
it's a mosaic.
Yeah, it's a mosaic. Now, Forbidden Dreams obviously will be reoffered to the public in, you said, on Amazon and hopefully in audiobook form down there.
It's going through its final edits now. It's
Yeah.
I think there's 70 pages left to painstakingly edit.
But let's remind the podcast listeners that don't remember from previous podcasts, you write by hand.
Oh, yes.
So talk about the importance from writing longhand for you and the challenges it also provides as well.
Well, see, I like to be engaged in the writing process, and when I'm writing by hand, I'm more involved in the story. I feel it gives me more control, and I trust my pen and paper better than I trust electronic digits on a screen.
You hit the wrong thing in a computer, everything is lost.
I've done that too many times.
I've had that happen to me too. I totally understand.
My biggest challenge is finding a typist to be able to read my writing and to be able to type what I write.
You want to give a shout out to your typist? That's always good, yes.
Carrie Albright typed up Secrets of the Damned, The Kirk, and Secrets of the Damned, Forbidden Dreams for me. And she worked long, and she worked hard, and she kept saying, I don't want nothing for this. And as far as I'm concerned, she might be the number one hero of the Damned, her and Nora. Funny, it's women. It's women that are propelling this.
Well, the heart of a woman is quality.
I must make a shout out
women,
too.
Oh, sorry.
I've got a shout out too. My wife designs the covers to all these books.
And mention her as your inspiration over the last long and short while on the series. So just talk about the great romantic and mental relationship you have with your beautiful wife.
Frances, she supports me quite a bit in this writing endeavor. I work seasonal, so when I'm not working, I'm doing this. So she's very supportive in that.
I thought writers never got a break. We write 365.
Well, my main focus though in the wintertime is painting and writing these novels. And the wintertime or the summertime, I'm out and about and I get crazy ideas. Like there's a novel I'm writing about a creature called the Gugway, which I get a lot of ideas when I'm out in the woods about. But that one's a little down the future, so we won't worry about that one.
Well, today we're extremely pleased that you sat down with me and us on the Secrets of the Damned project to talk about this. Jim, thanks so much. And again, we just want to remind everybody that Jim and myself, JJ Carrier, are on Facebook. We're also, our group is Secrets of the Damned on Facebook. The YouTube podcast, these are appearing, is on my podcast channel, JJ Governor, Governor Carrier. There's also other podcasts of my award-winning Sports File, Remote Control, and Screenshots column. Jim, thanks a lot this morning, and as we like to say throughout the province of New Brunswick now, be the Kirk. Bye.